We continue on with Week 6 of the high school football season. Mark Heller here with Kyle Odegard at Varsity Xtra. We're going to talk a little Queen Creek Saguaro in Division 3, possibly a preview of the future state championship game, or possibly the semifinals or even the quarterfinals. Hopefully not the first round, because that would be a terrible first-round matchup. It would be an awesome first-round matchup, but it would be a terrible one to have that happen that early.
Too early.
Way too early. To me, this is kind of like the irresistible force against the immovable object. Saguaro's athletes against Queen Creek's power running game and defense. It worked well for Saguaro a couple years ago. They had DJ Foster, in case you've never heard of him. But Queen Creek is also obviously a title team last year and has, again, gotten off to a really good start this year. So this is a better Queen Creek team than the last time that these two teams met. Who's going to win out between this irresistible force and the immovable object?
Yeah, I think Saguaro's offense is just too explosive to be totally stopped by Queen Creek defense. They're very sound and they know their assignments, but when you're trying to stop Christian Kirk and JT Nettleton and Luke Rubenzer, it's such a tall task to keep those guys contained. Even if you're doing things right, they just make plays and they're going to have big plays. So Saguaro's definitely going to score points, but on the flip side, I think Queen Creek will too, because Saguaro's rush defense hasn't been very good. They have a lot of two-way players. They get tired. They don't have the same Saguaro line as they used to 5 years ago, and especially with Matt Guida and Weston Barlow, who's been filling in and running for 250 yards a game without Guida.
Nuts.
So,
and no, we'd never heard of him either.
Yeah, and he just burst onto the scene, and he's been great. So if Guida comes back this week, which I think he might from injury, those two guys are going to be tough to stop. Queen Creek would rather keep it lower scoring, and they don't want to get into a shootout, but they might have to. But I think it'll be, in the 30s, probably both teams. Queen Creek's defense isn't as good as last year. They know what to do, but they don't have the same type of talent as much. But it'll definitely be a good game, and it could certainly go either way.
Yeah, it definitely could be for a shootout in sort of two totally different dynamics of Queen Creek pounding the ball and Saguaro going through the air and running wild like a track meet. Tough times actually this week over at Saguaro on and off the field, I guess. Mike Garcia, their longtime equipment manager, known as Tug, passed away earlier this week. Our condolences to obviously his family and Saguaro community as well. And so it kind of feels like they'll be playing with a little bit of a heavy heart. Do you have any sense of sort of what he meant to that program?
Oh yeah, he since I started covering them, 5-6 years ago, he's always been there, and not just football. You go to baseball games or basketball games, and you just remember him always in that golf cart or practices, going around, and the relationship he had with the students and the athletes, and not even just the athletes, the kids at Saguaro, they all looked up to him, and really nice guy, always helping out, always said hello, and I know it means a lot to them. He was, a mentor for a lot of these kids that have gone through Saguaro. Obviously a tough time for them, and like you said, condolences to the whole Saguaro family.
Yeah, they're certainly going to be playing with a heavy heart at Saguaro this week.